Shadows of JFK A Heist begins. The air was thick with anticipation, a sense of foreboding hanging over the airport like a dark cloud. The night was still, but the tension was palpable. JFK Airport, a hive of activity. The year, 1978. Whispers of a score, a big one, the target Lufthansa Airlines. The airport was a bustling hub, a crossroads of countless lives and stories. Amidst the chaos, a plan was brewing, one that would go down in history. Millions in cash, ripe for the taking. The money was tantalizing. A fortune that could change lives forever. It was locked away, but to the right people, it was within reach. This wasn't just any heist, this was personal. For these men, it was more than just money. It was about respect, power, and settling old scores. They had been wronged, and this was their chance to make things right. A chance to strike back. They had been planning for months, every detail meticulously thought out. This was their moment, and they were ready to seize it, to right what they saw as wrongs. Each member of the crew had their own reasons, their own motivations. Some sought revenge, others redemption, but they all shared a common goal. The shadow of JFK loomed large. The airport was more than just a setting, it was a character in their story, a silent witness to their plans and ambitions, a reminder of past grievances, real or imagined. The airport had seen its share of drama, but nothing like what was about to unfold. The crew's pasts were filled with slights and injustices, fueling their determination. They were a crew of seasoned criminals. Each one brought a unique skill set to the table, honed over years of living on the edge. They knew the risks, but they also knew the rewards, each with a role to play. The plan was complex, requiring precision and coordination. Every member had a specific task, and failure was not an option. Each with a score to settle. Their eyes burned with determination, their minds focused on the prize. They had come too far to turn back now. The plan was intricate, relying on timing and trust. Every second counted, and trust was paramount. They had to move as one, a well-oiled machine, a delicate dance on the edge of a razor. One misstep could spell disaster, but they were confident in their abilities. They had rehearsed every move, every contingency. The stakes had never been higher. This was their shot at glory, their chance to rewrite their stories. The pressure was immense, but so was the potential payoff. One wrong move, and it all goes south. The margin for error was razor thin. They knew the risks, but they also knew the rewards. This was their moment, and they were ready to seize it. The orchestrator, Jimmy Burke's grim symphony. Jimmy Burke, the mastermind. A man of contradictions. He was a figure who could charm you with a smile, yet instill fear with a single glance. His life was a complex tapestry of charisma and brutality, woven together in a way that made him both respected and feared in equal measure. Charming one minute, ruthless the next. Burke had an uncanny ability to switch between these personas effortlessly. His associates never knew which side of him they would encounter, keeping them perpetually on edge. This duality was his greatest weapon, allowing him to manipulate those around him with ease. He ran the Roberts Lounge crew with an iron fist. His word was law, his temper, legendary. The crew knew that crossing Burke was a death sentence. His leadership style was a blend of fear and respect, ensuring absolute loyalty from his men. The authorities were always one step behind, trying to piece together the puzzle of his operations. Burke saw the Lufthansa Heist as his masterpiece. It was the culmination of years of meticulous planning and ruthless execution. He envisioned it as the crown jewel of his criminal career, a heist that would cement his legacy in the annals of crime history, a chance for immortality in the underworld. The heist was more than just a job, it was a statement. Burke wanted to be remembered as the man who pulled off the impossible, a legend in the criminal world. The stakes were high, but so was the potential reward. He assembled his team carefully. Each member was handpicked for their unique skills and unwavering loyalty. Burke knew that the success of the heist depended on the precision and expertise of his crew. They were more than just criminals. They were specialists in their respective fields, loyal soldiers, each with a specific skill set. From the safecracker to the getaway driver, each played a crucial role in the operation. Burke's ability to bring together such a diverse group and mold them into a cohesive unit was a testament to his leadership. They were his instruments, each playing their part in his grim symphony. The heist was like a well-rehearsed performance, with each member executing their role to perfection. Burke was the conductor, guiding them through the intricate dance of crime. Burke knew the risks, but the potential reward was too great to resist. The heist was fraught with danger, but the allure of the prize was irresistible. Burke was willing to gamble everything for the chance at immortality. He was playing for keeps. Failure was not an option. For Burke, the heist was more than just a job, it was a defining moment. He was determined to see it through, no matter the cost. The stakes were high, but so was his resolve. This was his symphony, and he intended to conduct it to the very end. The Inside Man Louis Werner's Gamble, a tale of desperation, betrayal, and the high stakes of a life teetering on the edge. Every great heist needs an inside man, someone who knows the ins and outs, the secrets that can make or break the operation. Enter Louis Werner, a Lufthansa cargo agent, drowning in debt. His financial troubles were mounting, and the pressure was unbearable. He owed money to the wrong people, dangerous people, people who wouldn't think twice about making an example out of him. Desperation makes men do desperate things. Werner was no exception. He saw no way out, no light at the end of the tunnel. Werner was their way in. He provided crucial information. Information that would turn the tide in favor of the criminals, the layout of the cargo terminal, security protocols, the schedule of shipments. His betrayal was complete. He had given them everything they needed. Werner was in too deep now. The weight of his decisions bore down on him, but there was no escape. There was no turning back. The die was cast, and Werner was caught in a web of his own making. He had made his bed, and soon he would have to lie in it. The consequences of his actions were inevitable, and the price he would pay was steep. Before the heist, Werner's life was ordinary. He was just another face in the crowd, working a mundane job, trying to make ends meet. But the mounting debts changed everything. They turned his world upside down, pushing him to the brink. The decision to betray his employer wasn't made lightly. It was a gradual descent into darkness, fueled by fear and desperation. The planning of the heist was meticulous. Every detail was scrutinized, every possible outcome considered. Werner's inside knowledge was invaluable. On the night of the heist, tension was palpable. Werner's heart raced as he played his part, knowing that one misstep could mean disaster. The aftermath was chaotic. The authorities were on high alert, and the investigation was relentless. Werner's involvement couldn't stay hidden for long. Eventually, the law caught up with him. Werner was arrested, his gamble having failed. The dream of escaping his debts had turned into a nightmare. At his trial, the full extent of his betrayal was laid bare. The court heard how a man driven by desperation had risked everything and lost. Werner was sentenced, his fate sealed. The gamble that was supposed to save him had instead led to his downfall. Louis Werner's story is a cautionary tale, a reminder of how desperation can lead to ruin, and how the choices we make can have far-reaching consequences. The heist, once a daring plan, became a tragic story of a man who gambled everything and lost. A story that will be remembered for years to come. The night of the score, December 11, 1978. The night was cold. A light snow fell on the tarmac. The Lufthansa cargo terminal stood vulnerable. The crew moved with precision. Their plan, rehearsed countless times, was about to unfold. Tension hung heavy in the air. The guards were overpowered. The vault breached. Millions of dollars in cash and jewels were loaded into waiting vehicles. It was a clean getaway, or so they thought. The night was young, and the city never sleeps. Section 5, Vanishing Act, The Money and the Men. The score was in, millions of dollars. But the celebration was short-lived. Paranoia set in. Greed poisoned the air. The money began to disappear. Along with it, the men involved. One by one, they vanished, victims of Burke's ruthlessness. The streets ran red, silence bought with bullets. Burke left a trail of bodies in his wake. He trusted no one. Fear was his weapon. The heist had become a curse, the money stained with blood. Section 6, Aftermath, A Trail of Blood and Silence. The Lufthansa heist sent shockwaves through the underworld, the sheer audacity of it, the brutality of the aftermath. The FBI launched a massive investigation. Pressure mounted to bring the perpetrators to justice. But the code of silence was strong. Witnesses were intimidated or simply disappeared. The investigation hit dead end after dead end. The money never recovered. The Lufthansa heist became a cold case. Section 7, The Feds Close In. A game of cat and mouse. Years passed. The case grew cold, but the feds never gave up. They played the long game. Cultivating informants, squeezing associates, looking for any crack in the wall of silence. They knew Burke was behind it, but they needed proof. The net tightened. indictments were handed down, trials commenced. But Burke, the master manipulator, remained elusive. He had covered his tracks well. The feds had their work cut out for them. Section 8. Unanswered questions, the missing millions. Despite convictions, the Lufthansa heist remains an enigma. The full story remains untold. Who knew what? Where did the money go? The missing millions have become the stuff of legend. Rumors persist. Buried treasure, hidden accounts, the truth lost in a labyrinth of lies and deceit. The Lufthansa heist, a puzzle with missing pieces. A story without an ending.